So good morning and welcome to day one of the 2025 British Bench Champs. As you saw in the video coming in, there was the squat, bench and the deadlift, but we are just focusing on the bench today. So session one, we have 3 flights. So if you don't see your friend or your loved one in this first round of bench, do not worry, as they may be coming out later on. So my name is Louis. I'm joined today by Max, and we will be with you throughout the day, all 3 sessions. So I hope you get used to hearing our voices. So just a quick look at the flight list there. For flight 1, as you can see down the side of the screen, we have all the openers there. Starting off with Sophie at 30 kilos. We've got about 10 seconds left on the clock until bar should be loaded and she comes out for her opener.
Sophie Smith is just one of the several sub-juniors joining us today for British Bench Champs. She qualified for this at the, if I'm correct, mind, I'll keep that for later.
So Sophie coming out now for her opener, opting to use blocks, which you can do, just to raise the feet off of the floor if your legs are a bit on the shorter side. Just allows you to set up the same as everyone else would.
Strong opener.
And that is 3 white lights there for Sophie on her opener. A nice opening bench there. So the bar now moving up to 52.5 for Ange. So this is the second time Ange has competed this week, being at Masters Euros earlier in the week. I believe winning a couple of medals as well and placing quite highly. So shout out to Ange on that one of the Welsh lifters here today competing on home soil.
52.5 for an opening attempt.
So this is 5 kilos below Ange's personal best, I believe. Lovely opener there from Ange.
Very strong press, and that's 3 white lights and a good lift.
A beautiful start to the day. So the bar now moving up 2.5 kilos to 55 for Tyler Bailey.
Tyler Bailey is, again, one of the handful of junior lifters joining us today. She qualified for this comp at, I believe, the ST Christmas Classic, 52.5, oh sorry, 55 for an opener. So this is, as far as I know, above PR.
Very speedy opener there. Lovely touch on the chest, nice and soft.
That is also 3 white lights and a good lift, another good start to the day.
So chipping the bar up another 2.5 kilos now to 57.5 for our next two lifters here. So we are on the new Sky Alico pad today, which is slightly softer than the hard pad lifters have been used to for the past couple of years. After using it myself, I will say I do prefer it, and I think that has been the general consensus between a lot of lifters.
Very, very speedy opener.
A nice confident opener there. Always good to see everyone getting on the board without any trouble to start the day off. So you can just see Tony there waiting at the side of the platform for the bar to be loaded. And she gets the bar as loaded, cool, with the TC letting her come onto the platform for her opening attempt. So you may see lifters opting to self handout or have a center handout from Reese there. So this is personal preference a lot of the time, and it can just help you get into position a little bit easier, and maybe it can add to the lift. A nice smooth opener there from Tony. And 3 white lights.
So next up we have 60 kilos on the bar for Nola Holmes.
So 60 for Nola, and then the same weight for Gigi to follow. So on the platform there, again, we can just see the blocks, allowing Nola to just set up the same as everyone else. Just raise those feet slightly.
Very strong press and a very clean opener. 3 white lights and a good lift.
So next out we have Gigi, and I did promise Gigi I will give her baking a shout out because she did make me some really nice brownies yesterday. And no, I did not eat all the brownies myself. I did share them.
Bribery for some good commentating.
So Gigi just taking her time to set up, wanting to make sure that everything is right. Very quick opener there from Gigi. Nice and confident.
Going up now to 65 kilos for Rebecca. Very speedy opener, and that is
Just waiting on the lights there. There's 3 white lights there. Just taking a moment for them to come up.
so there's 65 kilos again for Kate Clark.
Kate repping that SPD GB singlet that she has worn a few times at internationals now. Really confident opener there from Kate, moving very nicely.
Moving up to 67.5 kilos for Megan and staying the same for two more lifters, Lauren and Emily. Yet another lifter representing with the Team GB singlet.
Megan opening just 5 kilos below her personal best here, so potentially looking to chip that today. Nice confident opener from her there. So Lauren coming out next. Again, opting to take a handout, which definitely isn't a bad idea when you've got Reese doing them. An equipped bencher himself, so knows how to give a very nice handout. So she has just been asked to re-rack the bar there. I saw one of our side refs not put his hand down, pointing at his heel. So your feet need to be flat in contact with the floor as much as the shape of your shoe will allow.
Start command.
A bit of a fight on that one for her. 3 white lights, she's on the board. Potentially a little bit harder than she wanted it to be, but maybe having to hold it for a little bit longer before she had to re-rack and unrack again might have just taken a little bit of energy from her. So Emily coming out next, also to 67.5. Her PB being 75 kilos, the red and the collar. – So just taking her time to really find her position here. Lovely opener there from Emily. 3 white lights, exactly what you want.
Now we're seeing 75 kilos on the bar for Kirsty.
A very strong opener here from Kirsty as a 52. And I believe Kirsty does hold the current Welsh bench record in the 52s. And that she does, which was 60 kilos set a long time ago, almost 2 years now. So as a junior, she also has the open one at 80. So clean sweeping some records here. And definitely looks on track to break that Welsh record today. So now all lifters have done their opening bench attempt. We stay with the same flight of lifters and go back to the start. Looking for them to all take their seconds. So once again, the bar will be in ascending order of weight. So lifting order may have swapped around within them depending on the jumps that they decided to make.
Sophie coming out with 32.5 for second attempt.
So Sophie opting to just jump 2.5 kilos here, which especially for your lighter weight women is usually the right call, as it can be quite a big jump when we're looking in percentage wise of 1 rep max. Unfortunately, just 3 red lights on that one. Expecting her to come out and retake that for her 3rd attempt there. Just see potentially with the feet coming up there might have been why she got red lights.
Bar is loaded at 57.5. Angela.
Let's go, Ange. All day. Nice and tight.
So I can't remember if Ange did more than this at Euros earlier in the week, but this currently matches what I have down for her personal best.
Yeah, that's it, all day.
A strong second attempt there from Ange.
That's 3 white lights and a good lift.
Expecting probably 60 to go on the bar for her there.
Next up we have 60 kilos on the bar for Tyler. 5 kilo jump opening, very strong jump.
A really nice second attempt there from Tyler. 3 white lights, moving lovely. So on the right hand side of your screen, when lifters are on the platform, you will be able to see the current standings for the weight class lifting and the prognosis. The prognosis is if every lifter hits the attempt that they have put in. And then just underneath that, you can see the British Open records for said weight class. Lifters are also able to take age class records here, however they can't chip those and it has to be by 2.5. A little too much for Tony there on her second. Expecting her to retake 60 on her third attempt and come out and give it another go.
Next up, we have 62.5 for lifter.
Bar is loaded.
Little bit sticky there in the middle, but she locked it out nicely. Taking 3 white lights. We'll look to see what she puts in for her third attempt coming up. Very confident when unracking.
Next up, we have 65 kilos for Nola.
A very smooth second attempt there from Nola. Consistent speed throughout the whole press. Next up, Gigi coming back out to also take 65 kilos. Just 2.5 below her personal best. So we'll see if she decides to jump to 70 for her third, based off of how this moves. It moved quite well for Gigi there. 3 white lights. I think she may look to put 70 on for her third, depending on the body weights between her and Becca, as they are 1 and 2 in the 47s at the minute.
So we have 70 kilos for Lauren, 2.5 kilo jump from her opener.
So we'll just keep an eye on Lauren's feet here. Looking a lot better that time round. Not being made to hold and wait. Always good to see when a lifter is able to come out and correct something on their next attempt. Very strong second there from Rebecca, but unfortunately 2 red lights there.
Could possibly
I
be
believe the center one will be elbow depth as it is showing red, and the right hand one was yellow. So there is a whole host of things that could be, such as the heels coming up or potential butt lift or commands as well. She'll be able to ask the referees what that was for, so she can correct it on her third. So Kate now making a 5 kilo jump to 70. Just 2.5 shy of her PB. Moving quite nicely there for her. We'll see if she decides to load 75 and tries to push that PB a little bit further today.
Bar is loaded.
So Megan now making a 5 kilo jump to 72.5. This will push her onto the under 52 podium if she hits this. However, we then do have Emily to follow, also taking 72.5. However, weighing slightly heavier.
slight sticking point. Still moved quite fine. 3 white lights and a good lift.
So as Emily is weighing slightly heavier than Megan, Emily will have to outlift Megan, whereas Megan can lift the same as Emily and be ahead on body weight. So if 2 lifters have the same weight lifted, the one who weighed in lighter will place ahead. A strong second attempt there from Emily. We'll see what she puts on. With Megan having 77.5 on for her third. However, as it is bench only, you do get 2 changes to your third attempt. So potentially some games being played by the coaches here today.
Bar is loaded now at 80 kilos for Kirsty.
There's a few 52 kilo lifters in the fight for podium places here. So Emily putting 80 kilos on, looking to jump into second. Kirsty hitting this, being lighter than Emily, staying in first, even if Emily hits 80 on her third.
Very strong second attempt, and that is 3 white lights and a good lift.
A nice press there. Matching her Welsh record on that one. Expecting her to push it up a little bit more on her third.
Now moving on to the third attempt.
So bar is loaded for Sophie. Coming out to retake 32.5 kilos. Looking better on that third attempt there. 2 white lights. That is all you need for a good lift. However, as it is a British, we do have a jury here today who, if unanimous in decision, can overturn lifts. However, that should only be in the point of a clear and obvious error. We do have something going on at the jury here at the minute. I will try and fill you in as much as I can when I get information. So we can see on the score sheet that Sophie's second attempt got overturned to 32.5 as a good lift. I believe she was meant to press 35 on her third attempt, and there might have been an issue on the score sheet as it wasn't inputted. So I will try and get some information from someone here as to what is going on. As 35 is coming back onto the bar, I believe Sophie is now going to be given a reattempt at that third with the 35 kilos instead of 32.
Bar is loaded.
So I've just been informed by one of the referees that we do have a 4-minute timer going for Sophie's third attempt. So as it was overturned and there was a misload from the platform crew due to the score sheet slip up, there is a 4-minute timer that includes the 1 minute she would normally be given to take the lift. She can take it any time within this 4 minutes, just needing to get the start command before it runs out. So normally what a lifter will do in this position is wait until there is 1 minute left on that timer. So they'll go out with the normal amount of time that they would have when taking a lift on the platform, allowing themselves as much rest as possible in between the attempts to give themselves the best shot at hitting the lift. So, whilst we are waiting for Sophie to come out, probably about 2.5 minutes left on that timer, we can just see our sponsors rolling through on the top right of the screen today. They'll be there throughout the day, so please feel free to check them out, have a look. So our timer now down to 2 minutes. So I'm expecting her to wait about another minute before coming out onto the platform. So Sophie is deciding to come out now with 1.5 minutes on the timer. She just needs to get the start command before that runs out, which she will do easily. And unfortunately, 3 red lights on that one. Believe it may have been for commands potentially. You can just see on the live stream there that unfortunately she does have a little bit of butt lift as well. Nevertheless, a solid attempt at 35 there from Sophie.
Next we have 60 kilos for Ange.
Nice and tight now. That's it.
And just taking her time here to make sure she is set up exactly how she would like.
Keep it all tight.
Unfortunately, just a little too heavy for Ange there today. Still matching her PB on her second attempt, and she did do Masters Euros earlier in the week, so she has already benched on the platform this week. So Tony now coming out to retake 60 kilos. Hopefully she will be able to tweak what is needed before this attempt, allowing her a better shot at pressing 60 here.
Very strong effort, but unfortunately she's just a bit too heavy. It's 3 red lights.
So this can sometimes happen, especially with females. The top end can trail off quite quickly sometimes on bench. With 2.5 kilos being a big jump, it can just sometimes prove a little bit too much for lifters. So Tyler now coming out to 65 kilos, making 2 5-kilo jumps here today. Absolutely smashing her PB if she hits this, putting a whole 7.5 kilos on it. Unfortunately, just too heavy for Tyler there today. Still walking away with a 2.5 kilo PB from her second attempt though.
Bar is loaded now 65 kilos, to be breaking her PB by 5 kilos if she gets this.
So unfortunately, just missed that one there.
67.5 going on for Nola.
The lights have just come through now, so you will now see that one on your score sheet. So just a little technical issue here with the live stream. We will keep you up to date ourselves with the lifting going on. So Nola just getting her start command. A very smooth and strong press there.
That is
3 white lights there for Nola. And that is 67.5 kilos on the board for her. So next out we have Rebecca Heath, looking to retake 70 kilos here. So she gets her start, come on.
Stream is back up. Very strong
Lights
press.
through that. So 2 to 1 white lights. A blue there from one of our side refs. Potentially for downward movement. Our jury will have a look at it. So Gigi now coming out to 70 kilos. I believe she had 67 in, but has made a change. So looking at the prognosis, if Gigi hits this, she will jump above Rebecca, taking the win in the 47s. So a big lift here. Just a little too heavy for Gigi there today. Always worth a go when you have nothing to lose position-wise. And now we come back into our 52 kilo lifters. A lot of whom here are battling for the podium positions. Coming out next, we have Lauren taking a 2.5 kilo jump to 72.5. If she hits this, she will remain in 4th, it looks like. Just missing out on body weight. Unfortunately, just a little bit too heavy for her today. A good attempt there, nevertheless. So 72.5 kilos stays on the bar for Kate now. Kate just stood waiting by the TC, waiting to come on, give me a little grin.
Seems to be slight error with the score sheets.
Next up we have Kate with 72.5 kilos on the bar.
So just a little mix up there. Just the lights hadn't gone through to the score sheet. So we have Kate coming out to 72.5. If she hits this, she will jump up to 4 in the open. I believe also winning the M152s today. We have all lifters lifting in the open, but they can still win their individual age classes as well. A lovely third attempt there from Kate. Unfortunately, just 2 red lights on that one, both showing yellow. She looks a little bit surprised. Being handled by Craig today, who is going over to the jury, as she did get 1 white light, so they can go to the jury and argue this. So you can just see Adam Riley speaking to the refs that gave the yellows there. They are saying it was on commands. So I don't know if that will be overturned at all. Just see a shake of the head there from Craig. Unfortunately, Kate's 72.5 won't be overturned, finishing the day with 70. So Megan now setting up for 77.5. This will keep her in 3rd place. If Emily, keep her in 2nd unless Emily hits. Just a bit too heavy for her today. Finishing with 72.5 kilos. So Craig also handling Emily here today. Kate and Emily being very good friends. Craig handling them both. Has just put in a change at the table. Emily does not need to take 80 kilos here, as Megan missed the 77.5. Emily missed the 77.5. Emily can drop to that on lot number. So what I mean here by lot numbers is at weigh-ins, lifters are randomly assigned a number, normally in the order that they weigh in, which is randomly assigned. So as Emily has a higher lot number here than Megan, she is able to drop down to 77.5. Pressing this will jump Megan and take her into 2nd. She can't go down to 75 as the bar was already on 77.5 for Megan, so she can't drop below that. But due to the lot number, can come down from 80 to 77.5. Just wants to take her time setting up here, making sure she gets everything right to give her the best chance at this. Unfortunately, just a bit too heavy for Emily there today as well. Still finishing in 3rd with 72.5 kilos. A very solid result. And the last bench of flight 1 is Kirsty coming out to 82.5. She has already won the under 52s today. So this is just a little bit of a victory lap for her, looking to push her bench only Welsh record up by 2.5 kilos. So after this, we will follow straight into flight B bench. Unfortunately, just a little bit too heavy for Kirsty there today. Still comes away with the overall win in the under 52 class.
Next up here, moving on to Flight B.
So on your screen now, you can see Flight B, which is all 57 kilo lifters today. So once again, lifters will all be competing in the open and their individual age classes as well. All age classes, I believe, being represented today, ranging from sub-junior all the way up to M4. So our first opener here is 42.5 kilos for Joanne. Very nice opener there. Lovely and smooth on the press. Moving up to 50 kilos now for Laura. Laura opting to use the smaller of the 3 block sizes that we have today, as you should always have.
Very smooth opener. That's 3 white lights and a good lift. Next up, we have 57.5 for Kelly. Very strong opener, just shy of 7.5 kilos in PR. Very, very smooth opener, and that is going to be 3 white lights and a good lift. Bars staying the same, 57.5 kilos for Violet. This is breaking her PB by about 2.5 kilos here. Another very, very smooth opener. That is 3 white lights. Took a little bit to get that third one, but that is 3 white lights and a good lift.
So Ellie coming out now to 60 kilos. Rocking that new SBD Forge today. The same with our platform crew. Their t-shirts kindly provided by SBD. Very quick opener there. 3 white lights, exactly what we want to see.
Next up is 62.5 on the bar for Hannah.
So Hannah now coming out. So what you will see now is, I believe, our center ref just going a bit closer to the lifter, as she is hard of hearing. A lovely opener there from Hannah, moving really, really nicely. So going up to the blue in the collar now for 65 kilos for Katie. A nice opener for Katie there. 3 white lights. Exactly what you like to see.
Next up is 80 kilos for Catherine.
So up to 80 kilos here for Kat. Looking nice and locked in. The first of 4 lifters to open at 80 kilos here. Putting a very tight race for the podium together. Confident opener from her there, moving really nicely. 3 white lights.
Amber up next. Bar's same, 80 kilos.
So Amber also rocking that GB singlet, showing that she has international experience. Meaning she should come in nice and confident today, knowing exactly what she needs to do. A really nice opener there from Amber. So it's likely to be Amber and Georgina in the battle for first in the 57 kilo junior class. Also both being involved in the battle for that open podium as well. Very nice opener from Georgina there. 3 white lights, moving lovely. Staying at 80 kilos for one more lifter. Megan coming out now. Opening only 2.5 below her personal best. So looking like she's made some really solid progress since her last comp. A solid opener from her there. Just getting a yellow from the centre ref. I believe it might have been on the rack command. But it doesn't look like the jury are going to overturn that one. So she should be okay. So the bar up to 85 kilos now, which is a solid opener.
Very solid opener.
Nice opener there.
2 to 1.
Again, just getting a yellow from the center ref. I will see if I can find out what that was for. Again, it looks like potentially it might have been on the rack command.
Next up we have 95 kilos on the bar.
So a PB bench of 105 as well. So potentially looking to run away with it here if she can get close to that, opening 10 kilos ahead of the competition. And it looks like she's going to get 3 white lights there. A very, very nice opener. Just seen one of our refs asking them to drop her rack height down, as she was not able to unrack or re-rack that without help. Obviously, you are allowed a handout, but you do need to have it at a height where you are able to re-rack yourself without having to have the spotters and loaders take a majority of the weight for you. This is mainly down to safety reasons.
Next up, 45 kilos on the bar for Joanne.
Lovely second attempt there from Joanne. 3 white lights. Looking to match her PB on her third potentially with 47.5.
Next up, we have 55 kilos on the bar for Laura, and that is just 2.5 kilos below her PR.
A slight stick in the middle there, but still moved quite nicely. Just getting a blue from our center ref. Potentially for downward movement. So our center ref there just speaking to the platform crew. I'm not too sure what that's about. Violet Clark now making a 2.5 kilo jump coming out for 60 kilos. So Violet still being a sub-junior with plenty of years in the sport to come.
Very strong second attempt.
A really nice second there, yeah. So Violet is the only sub-junior 57 competing today, so potentially just doing what she needs to win. A nice easy day and make that Worlds and Euros squad.
Next up is 62.5 on the bar for Kelly.
So Kelly being another one of our Welsh lifters that we have here today, representing on home soil. Being handled by her partner Dalton, which is always nice to see. A rapid second attempt there. Expecting at least another 5 kilo jump on that one. Just waiting for the lights, which are 3 whites. So no problems there at all.
Next up, we have, what's 65 on the bar for Ellie.
So Ellie, one of our 57 kilo juniors here today, looking to fight for that third place on the junior podium. A nice second attempt there from her.
Stop. Bar stays the same for Hannah.
So it is Ellie, Hannah, and Katie once again back to back to back, all looking to try and take that third place on the junior 57 podium today, with Amber and Georgina being a little bit far ahead for them to catch. A really nice second attempt there from Hannah, moving absolutely beautifully.
That is matching PB as well. Next up, we have 70 kilos.
It is 70 on the bar, yes. Katie coming out for it. We'll see how this one moves and then what she looks to put in for her third. Just a bit too much for her today. That's a real shame there. I'm sure she'll come back out on the third attempt and take that again. Potentially just losing position off of the chest maybe, and making it a bit harder than it needed to be. So Amber coming out next. Just showing her wrist wraps before she comes onto the platform, as the only piece of equipment you are allowed to adjust on the platform is your belt, should you choose to wear one. A lot of lifters opt not to for bench. So Amber and Georgina once again taking the same weight. A really nice second attempt there from Amber. Moving lovely. Georgina now following her out with 82.5 kilos. So Georgina, being the lighter of the two and having the higher lot number, will really play in her favour here today with that battle for the first place on the junior 57 podium. All she needs to do is match what Amber does, and she will beat her on body weight.
Very rapid.
Both of them look like they have a fair bit more in the tank. So Amber going up to 85 kilos on her third attempt. However, she can change that twice. I'm expecting Georgina to put in 85 as well and match her. Then if Amber makes a change, Georgina will most likely just react to that. Just doing what she needs to stay ahead. Moving on, we have Kat making a 5 kilo jump to 85 here.
Take your time, Kat.
And if this moves well, I expect her to potentially make another 5 kilo jump. Kat being an M1, the bench only 57 M1 record is 88 kilos, so she might load 90 to try and take that and potentially push for the open podium as well. probably a bit of a tougher second attempt than she would have liked. So maybe just add the 2.5 and take the 87 today. But she should not be far off of that M1 bench record in the future.
Next up we have Megan with 85 kilos.
A good second attempt there from Megan, putting 2.5 kilos on her personal best as well, with a bit more in the tank. We will look to see what she puts in for her third attempt.
Next up we have 90 kilos on the bar for Sheena.
So Sheena opting to wear a belt today. Some lifters prefer it. Sometimes they feel like it can help them set up and brace a little bit better on the bench press. However, it can potentially limit your thoracic or lumbar movement a little bit, bringing your arch down slightly.
Strong second attempt.
A decent second there. Just getting a yellow from the center ref, which I believe may be a command again. I'm not too sure, as I haven't seen the center ref signal what for. So that could be commands, could be for a change in elected start position.
Next up we have 100 kilos on the bar.
So 100 kilos is an impressive bench for anyone. So to see this on a second here in the under 57s is really impressive.
And a very, very strong second attempt.
Really nice second there. So interesting to note that she did opt to self-hand out on that second attempt compared to getting a hand out on the first. So potentially it was just an issue with the rack height being set too high on her opener, as it did look very high.
Third attempt now. It's 47.5 for Joanne.
Coming to thirds now, I will do my best to keep you updated on all the different battles across the age classes. A lovely fight there from Joanne, matching her PB. 3 whites, beautiful lifting there. Looks nice and happy with herself coming off the platform.
Next up we have 57.5 on the bar for
So Laura coming out to 57.5. A nice fight there from Laura.
matching her PB as well at 57.5.
Looks pretty pleased with her day as she comes off there.
Next up,
So next out is Violet Clark.
67 and a half on the bar. Oh, sorry,
62 and a half on the bar. So Violet today being handled by Sheridan Way, who has been the GB bench coach for a while now. So someone that you would definitely like in your corner on game day. So
Very strong press.
Violet making her third attempt look like an opener. Absolutely smoking that one there. So next up we have Kelly coming out to 67.5 kilos. 2 5-kilo jumps for her today. This will be chipping that PB by 2.5. Kelly getting a lot of support as she walks out there, being one of the hometown lifters. Making sure she sets up right. And there is a lot more in the tank there still. Kaylee looks extremely pleased with herself. And I have it on word that she is not injured or anything, so just decides to absolutely smoke everything today.
Next up is 70 for Katie, retaking her second.
So Katie here is in that battle for third on the junior podium against Ellie and Hannah. And it was just a little technical mishap on her second, pressing it on her third, putting the pressure on the other two for that third place spot. So Ellie now coming out for 70 kilos as well. Ellie being 200 grams lighter than Katie. So if she hits this, she will jump ahead of her, pushing Katie off that podium. And that is a great fight there. Two white lights, a really nice bench. We'll just keep our eye on the jury for a moment. I can see them watching it, potentially deliberating, but there is a shake of the head. I don't think that will be overturned. So Hannah now coming out to 72.5 kilos. So could have dropped to 70 here, I believe, to take that podium spot. Opting for 72. I'm proving just a little bit too heavy for her today, unfortunately. So next up we have Georgina coming out to 85 kilos, making another 2.5 jump. So Georgina is guaranteed a spot on that junior podium. It's between her and Amber for first and second today. Really nice press there. I reckon another 2.5 in that she could have used if she wanted. Essentially just taking the 85 to force Amber to have to make her third attempt. So Kat now coming out to 87.5, just opting to take that 2.5 kilo jump. Just taking her time to set up here.
If she gets this, she will be placed in fourth, just shy of the podium.
And that is a great fight there from Kat. She's done incredibly well to lock that one out. Three white lights as well. She's ecstatic about that one. So next up we have Amber coming out to 87.5 kilos as well. So if Amber hits this, she will move up into fourth overall and take the win in the 57 junior class. And it looks like she's got it. 3 white lights there. Hugging her coach as she comes off. That international experience really coming in helpful for her today. So last of our 3 lifters of Flight B, third to last of the 3 lifters of Flight B, sorry. Megan coming out to 87.5. This will push her up onto that 3rd place spot on the podium if she hits it, beating both Amber and Kat by body weight. That's just proved a little bit too heavy for her today, unfortunately. A good attempt still. Always nice to see lifters shooting for those podium positions. So that leaves our open 57 podium decided now, with Amber coming in 3rd, Shania 4th, and Jun in 1st. It's a great fight there, unfortunately just a little bit too heavy today. Still walking away with 2nd overall, which you cannot complain about.
Next up is 102.5 on the bar for our last lifter of Flight B. Gets star command. And she smokes her third attempt, securing her place in first. That was our last lifter, Flight B. Moving on to Flight C now, with Maisie opening with a 50-kilo bench. So this next flight of lifters is all under 63 category. Again, various age groups being represented here today. So Maisie coming out now onto the platform, matching her PB with her opener. Very, very smooth opener, just like we like to see. That is 3 white lights and a good lift. Next up is Margarita with 50 kilos on the bar. So Margarita being one of our junior lifters and Maisie being one of our sub-junior lifters today. Very, very speedy opener. Next up will be Ella with 52.5 on the bar. Ella's another one of our sub-junior lifters here today. This is matching her PB on bench with her opener. Seems to be something going on. I believe she might have been asking the... No, never mind. She's not asking the ref to step forward. Very, very strong opener, 52.5. Next up is going to be Nikki with 55 kilos on the bar. Nikki being one of our Masters 2 lifters here today. So just 5 kilos shy of her PB. Yeah, another solid opener, just what you like to see, and that is 3 white lights and a good lift. So keeping the same at 55 kilos for Eleanor up next.
Smoking opener there. Moving really, really nicely. They're going up to 60 kilos now for Sam. Sam being handled by Thomas today, as her actual coach is competing in the same flight. A nice opener there, just clipping the hook on the rack on the way up, but doesn't put her off at all. Still moving really nicely. Potentially might just set up a little bit further down the bench on her second attempt to give her some more space between her and the rack.
Next up is Mariano with 62.5 on the bench. Very smooth opener, just exactly what you want.
3 white lights, perfect start to the day for her. Rita now also taking 62.5 kilos today for her opener. A lovely opener for her there. Moving really, really nicely. Pushing the bar up to 67.5 kilos now. So adding that blue.
Bar is now loaded, and she is opening with 2.5 kilos of her PR.
Training must have been going well if she's opening above the PB. We'll see how this opener moves, and that will give us an opinion on that. And she's absolutely smoked it. Training has been going really, really well if she's pressing 2.5 over her comp PB like that on an opener.
Next up is 70 kilos on the bar for Katie.
So Katie, the first of 2 lifters taking 70 kilos. Absolutely smoked it. Really, really nice opener there from Katie. Looking very strong today.
Next up is
We'll
our
see where she goes from here.
second lifter taking 70 kilos. This is Chloe now.
Again, a really nice opener there from Chloe. Now we move to 75 kilos, putting the first red onto the bar. Charlotte coming out for that now. Opening 10 kilos below her PB, so plenty of room to grow into the rest of the day.
absolutely smoked the opener. 3 white lights, good lift. Next up is 80 kilos for Beverly.
So Beverly hits this. She guarantees herself the win in the M2 class already. A beautiful opener from her there. Really, really controlled onto the chest and a great press. Expect her to try and push herself as far as she can today. Chip some PBs.
Next up is Ava with an 85 kilo opener, 5 kilos above her PB. Just taking the time to get that right position. Beautiful opener, 3 white lights. Next up is 87.5 for Laura, 5 kilos above her PB. Louis just running over to the score table to sort something out. It's again 5 kilos above her PB. Training, as Louis said, for a previous lifter, training must be going fantastic. And looks like the training paid off. 3 white lights and a good lift for Laura. Next up is Victoria with 87.5.
A really solid opener there. Moving nice and quickly.
Next up is Miranda with 92.5. Just cleaning off the bench there from excess chalk.
So Miranda, one of the lifters in the fight for the overall podium here and for the win in the junior 63s as well. Miranda actually holds the junior 63 bench record herself at 101 kilos. And the way her opener looks, she might be looking to chip that again today.
Next up is Charlotte with 95 kilos on the bar, just 5 kilos shy of her PB.
So Charlotte today being handled by Suzanne, the absolute goat of meet recaps. If you haven't seen them, they are incredible. Charlotte also potentially looking to chip that bench record. Opting for more of a sink here today to potentially get around that elbow depth rule.
Regardless, it is 3 white lights and a good lift. Next up, we have 102.5 on the bar for Katie.
So I believe Katie is just training through this meet as well, as she is competing at Small Nations in 2 weeks for Wales. So once again on home soil here for Katie. And off of that opener, it definitely looks like she is just training through. That moved absolutely beautifully. So that is round 1 of flight 3 done. 2 more rounds of bench to go in this first session. So moving back round to the start, we have Maisie coming out for 55 kilos. Once again, Maisie being a Welsh lifter here, competing on home soil today. I believe this is the biggest contingent of Welsh lifters we've ever had at a British Bench Championships, which is really good to see.
Maisie also being one of our youngest competitors at only 14 years old.
A nice second attempt there. So just off of your point there, Maisie actually did her first comp on the first day she physically could possibly compete. So you have to be 14 to compete, and she did it on her 14th birthday. So couldn't have competed a single day earlier.
Definitely a very young age to start powerlifting, but there's nothing wrong with starting that young.
We love seeing people get into the sport.
Exactly.
So Maggie coming out now to also take 55 kilos. Nice second attempt from her there. Again, sinking to get around that elbow depth rule potentially. Some lifters also just do it because they feel like they have a stronger bench press if they do that. So Nikki opting to jump 2.5 kilos here to 57.5. Having to fight for that one a bit, just a little too heavy today. Expect to see her retake that on her third. Come out for another shot.
Next up is Ella, another one of our sub-juniors competing in the third flight with 57.5. 5 kilos above her PB.
Really nice second attempt from Ella there. Setting herself up well for the third. So Eleanor now making a 5 kilo jump to 60. Just 2.5 shy of her PB. So if this moves well, potentially loading 65 to add to that. And I
Very
expect to see the 65 loaded, but that moving really, really nicely.
Next up, we have Rita with 65 on the bar.
A nice press there from Rita. Potentially matching the 2.5 kilo jump she did from first to second, or maybe opting for a 5 if she decides to push herself a little bit more. So Sam now taking that 5 kilo jump, coming out to 65 kilos. Matching her PB here. Again, just accidentally clipping that rack on the way up, but not seeming to deter her at all. Still hitting 3 white lights.
Next up, we have Mariana with 67.5 on the bar. 2.5 kilos shy of her PB at 70 kilos. And a strong press to finish that off. That is 3 white lights and good lift. So potentially seeing her either match or go over her PB. Clean press, beating her PB by 5 kilos.
Bar now moving up to a red and a collar. Katie Rimmel coming out for 75 on her second attempt.
This is matching her comp PB.
A really nice second attempt there from Katie. Definitely going to break that PB on her third attempt. Just depends by how much. Now I can see Katie's coach just talking to the jury. I'm unsure what that's about, as she did get 3 white lights. Chloe currently setting up for 75 kilos as well. Making light work of that on her second attempt. So Carla now coming out to 80 kilos, making a 5 kilo jump from her opener. And with the way that moved, it's definitely a good decision here. Try and take as many kilos as she can today. Three white lights there for Carla. So next up we have Beverly. So she is taking the M2 bench only record, which currently stands at 85 kilos. That has stood since the middle of 2017. So about 8 years since this record was set. Probably one of the longest standing records in British powerlifting now. Beverly looking to take that on her second attempt here. PB of 92.5, so really shouldn't be any problem for her. And it was not a problem at all. The only question now is how far Beverly decides to push that record today. She can now load absolutely anything she wants, as she has all the chips available to her. So we will see where they think her top end strength for the day could be. So moving on, we have Ava coming out to 90 kilos, taking a 5 kilo jump from her opener. She opened 5 kilos above her current PB, so this is already putting 10 kilos on the PB on the second, which is massive on bench. A nice second attempt from Ava there. Definitely more in the tank. She is currently in that battle for the Junior 63 podium today. So Victoria coming out now to 92.5. Victoria actually a 69 kilo lifter here today. I believe potentially missing weight. Moving really nicely there on her second attempt. Moving on to Laura now, taking 95 kilos. Opener looked really, really quick. So we will see if this 7.5 kilo jump serves her well. The junior British record being 101 currently, so potentially looking to shoot for that. And I would be very, very surprised if she does not load 101.5 here to try and chip that record. It is currently held by Miranda, who is following her out now, so she may take it back afterwards. So Miranda making a 5 kilo jump here to 97.5. If this moves well, she's definitely in range to look to break her own record here and fight Laura for that podium overall and the junior win. Moving quite nicely on the second attempt there. Definitely a bit more in the tank. We'll see what she decides to put on. So Miranda weighing slightly heavier than Laura here today, meaning that she will have to press more than her to win.
Next up we have Charlotte with 100 kilos on the bar, matching her PB.
Just a little misload on one side there. So she will get the minute timer reset. So just coming back off of the platform for that. She gets the bar is loaded cool again, so the minute timer restarts as it was a platform error. So there are a couple of temp changes going in for Laura and Miranda, but we will focus on Charlotte here first. $100 moving really, really nicely for her.
Next up is Katie with 110 kilos on the bar.
So this should move quite nicely for Katie. She has pressed more than this in competition before at 115 kilos. Competing internationally on the bench team for GB. And as I have said, going to Small Nations with Wales at the end of the month.
Very
A
easy.
lovely second attempt there from Katie.
2-1.
Just a yellow from one of the side refs. Unsure what that is for. I'm keeping my eye on the jury to see if they do anything, but I can see all three of them shaking their heads, so I believe that lift will stand. So we move back round now to 57.5 kilos for Nikki, the first of our third attempts here. So 19 lifts left of this morning session.
And unfortunately, she does not have it today. Next up will be Maisie with 60 kg on the bar. If I'm not wrong, I believe she did hold the bench press, the Welsh bench press record for the under 16.
So Maisie has all the under 16 Welsh records in the 63s, the clean sweep.
Boosting her record by.
So this will push her bench only record up by 10 kilos if she hits this. Already having up that Welsh record today by 5 kilos on her second attempt. And she fights through it. 2 white lights, it's a good lift, and that is plus 10 kilos on her own Welsh record. Again, just keep an eye on the jury, as they will always have a look if there is 2-1 in either favour. but I don't think that one's getting overturned.
Next up, Margarita with 60 kilos on the bar.
So Maggie showing up for the deadlift specialist today.
She fights through it. That is 2-1.
That's a good lift there for Maggie. So Ella opting for a 2.5 kilo jump here to 60. Unfortunately, Maggie's third has been overturned to a no lift. She's done incredibly well to lock that out, but there was some downward movement on it, so she's not going to get that one. I think she kind of knew that as she was coming off of the platform there. Still an incredible fight to manage to lock that one out there. So jumping 7.5 kilos here up to 67.5 for Eleanor. A very big jump on bench here. But she's 2 for 2 so far and everything's moving well. Unfortunately, just a little bit too much there for her today. Finishing just shy of her personal best on her second. So Rita making another 2.5 kilo jump here to 67.5. A really nice fight for her there. 3 white lights, knocking that one out beautifully. So Sam now following Rita out to the same weight, 67.5 kilos on her third attempt here.
This is 2.5 for PB. Two to 1 with center up.
Is a good lift still. We do have 2 white lights. The jury will have a quick look at it. But I can't see any deliberation going on. I think that one will be fine.
Next up, Marianne with 72.5. This is 2.5 over her bench PB.
Unfortunately, just a little bit heavy for her today. Just shooting for that PB there. Just coming up slightly short, which is a shame, but I'm sure she will be back to take that on the platform at some point in the future. So we have 11 attempts left of this first session of the day. Second lifter here at 72.5 kilos. Making really nice work of it there, moving well. 3 white lights and a 3 for 3 day for her.
Next up is Katie with a 77 half bench. This is 2.5 kilos above her PB. Very nicely. That is 3 white lights and a good lift.
Moving really, really well there for Katie.
Next up is Chloe with 80 kilos on the bar. 5 kilos, 5 kilo jump from her last, and a 5 kilos over her PB. Very easily. That is 3 white lights and a good lift.
She's definitely happy with that third attempt there. So Carla coming out now to 85 kilos. Looking to match her personal best here today. The winner of our M1 age class today. .85 moving really nicely for her there. Definitely a bit more in the tank.
Now Beverly.
Beverly looking to extend her record here, opting to press 90 kilos. Put 5 kilos on that record that stood since 2017. Now she has pressed 92.5 in comp. However, that would have likely been at a divisional, so British records wouldn't have been able to be broken. Which is why she does not hold the record already.
That is a very easy third, and 5 kilos on the old record, and a new record at that.
She looks like she really had a lot more in the tank there, so potentially going to push that record even further at a couple of internationals maybe this year, maybe doing Euros or Worlds. So coming into our last 6 lifters here, the first 4 of which are in the juniors, so competing for that junior podium. So Ava guaranteed the 3rd place on the podium here, just looking to push her personal best further. Moving really nicely, looking like there's more in it still.
Very happy about that one.
So Victoria coming out next to 97.5 kilos. With a PB of 94 kilos, which I would assume is a divisional record of some kind. I only know the Welsh records because I'm from Wales, so I know what they are, but other divisions I'm not too sure. So looking to just push her personal best and that divisional record, another 3.5 kilos here. Just a little too heavy for her today, unfortunately.
Next up is Laura with 101.5, which would break the record.
So yeah, the next two lifters currently is Laura followed by Miranda. The current 63 junior bench only record is 101 kilos, which is held by Miranda. So the bar is loaded for Laura, looking to steal that British record off of Miranda and put herself in first place in the juniors here.
Very easy third. It's 3 white lights.
That should have been left in the warm-up room. That looks outrageously quick for a third attempt.
Next up is...
Now we do have Miranda looking to come and take that British record back that Laura has just broken. So she may only hold it for 1 or 2 minutes. So Miranda dropping to 102 kilos here. She had 103 in, just to be a little bit more ahead of Laura, but all she needs is 102, as she is weighing slightly heavier. So this is the exact number she needs on the bar to win the junior 63s here today and take her record back. Her bar is loaded and she is coming out looking nice and confident. Unfortunately, just jumping the press command there. That's a real shame. So that leaves us with the junior podium being Ava in third, Miranda in second, and Laura taking the win there today.
Next up is Charlotte with 105 on the bar, 5 kilos over her PB.
So Charlotte's bench has been moving really nicely today, so this should be within her range.
And a very strong third attempt, coming in at 3 white lights and a good lit.
Knocks it out beautifully there. finishing second in the Open 63s today. A really, really nice result there for Charlotte. So with one more bench left in this first session, we have Katie Roberts coming out to 112.5, representing Wales on home turf. And I expect her over the next year or so to start creeping closer to that open record of 120.5. Because that moved really, really nicely for her. Nice and happy with her result there. A solid day for Katie, winning the under 63s there. So that is the end of our first session this morning. We will join you for session 2 at 1:30 liftoff. So in about an hour 10, hour 15 minutes. We look forward to you joining us again for session 2.
Manufactured exclusively in Great Britain at SBD's state-of-the-art facility, these new 7mm powerlifting knee sleeves have been designed for competitive powerlifters that need the maximum possible support from their sleeves. An innovative new high-grade neoprene offers enhanced second skin compression that molds to the joint all the way through the range of motion. No gapping during flexion means that the knee joint is supported consistently all the way through the lift, helping lifters maintain form and bar speed as they approach maximal attempts. Heavyweight linings, edging and seams, and abrasion-resistant outers that are designed to withstand even the most aggressive fitting make the 7mm knee sleeve the most robust sleeves in SBD's product portfolio. Engineered in Great Britain to SBD's exacting standards, each sleeve is carefully scrutinised by a team of highly trained quality control personnel and comes, as standard, with SBD's antimicrobial technology and a 1-year warranty. Manufactured exclusively in Great Britain at SBD's state-of-the-art facility, these new 7mm powerlifting knee sleeves have been designed for competitive powerlifters that need the maximum possible support from their sleeves. An innovative new high-grade neoprene offers enhanced second skin compression that molds to the joint all the way through the range of motion. No gapping during flexion.
going to move on to the open class now. So in the 47 kilo open lifters, in first place we have Gigi Nicholson, 65. And in